Hey guys, it's Krista Tyus here, and in today's video, I want to talk about should you invest in a tax franchise. So welcome if you are new to me. Again, my name is Krista. I am an enrolled agent by the Internal Revenue Service, and I also help EAs, bookkeepers, tax professionals, CPAs, and financial coaches get more clients with my program, Tax and Accounting Clients on Demand, where I walk you through on how to build a virtual six-figure tax business and market your business effectively using social media. So a lot of you might be in the position where you might be contemplating, or you probably contemplated at some point, starting a tax franchise or buying into a tax franchise rather than going on it on your own. So I really want to take this opportunity to break down some pros and cons on, should you invest in a tax franchise, really just to give you a broad and thorough lay of the land on what's going to be required either way. So first, let's start with some pros, because I want to definitely look at this topic objectively. I want to give you the good parts about investing in a tax franchise, but also some of the pitfalls and some of the things that you potentially don't want to get yourself into based upon your particular situation. Now, when we're thinking about a franchise, we're thinking about a brand or a company that you're gonna pay money to in order to utilize their system and in order to utilize their name. So some of the most notable tax franchises that you can buy into is like an H&R Block, or like a Liberty Tax, or maybe even a Jackson Hewitt. So those are the top 3 tax brands at this moment that you can buy into, but there are also tons of other mom and pop tax franchises that you can buy into, right? So let's talk about some pros. So the very first pro that you want to consider is brand recognition, right? So this is where the company has put in millions of dollars in time, energy, blood, sweat, and tears on marketing their business name, such as the H&R Block. When you buy into an H&R Block, you are really buying into the brand recognition. You're buying into the power of the name. And that can be very powerful, and it used to be very powerful in a lot of instances. Nowadays, there's so many other brands and there's so many individual mom and pop locations that brand recognition is slowly but surely not as important any longer, right? Because you don't need a storefront necessarily to be successful in this business. You don't need to be like in a strip mall. And a lot of these big brands like an H&R Block, or even some of the small mom and pop tax franchises that you can buy into, you will need to buy that additional real estate. You will need to have that additional overhead. So while you might get brand recognition, one of the cons is the real estate and signage involved, right? So a lot of times you typically have to find a location in a heavily populated area. You have to get maybe a location that's in a strip mall, and that real estate, that overhead, that rent expense is going to be a huge part of your business. It's going to cut into your profit steeply. Not only that, but you're also going to have to invest in the signage to even, leverage the brand that you're buying into. So signage can cost upwards to $10,000. I know when I had my brick and mortar location, I spent about almost $3,000 just on the channel letters. So these are the big block letters that you see that light up, that illuminate. It was about $3,000 to get that created and installed on my building. And I mean, $3,000 is not cheap. So when you're looking about, okay, I'm gonna get brand recognition, but you also have to know that there's a huge expense associated with that brand recognition to even leverage the brand name, right? What I have also written here is a proven process. Right, so that is one of the enticing reasons on why you will want to consider purchasing into a tax franchise, is that you do have, or you should get, a proven process, right? So if you invest in an H&R Block or even a smaller mom and pop tax franchise, they should have like a document to give to you to say, hey, here's everything on how you should run this business. And that could be very appealing for a lot of people. So you aren't trying to figure this out. You aren't trying to push and pull everything together on your own. You have your policies, your procedures, your operations. You have everything that you need need in order to run the operational and admin of your business, because they should be giving you some sort of book to say, hey, here's everything that you need, here's everything that you should do in order to be successful. Now, one of the cons with this is that it's a huge, high upfront investment, right? Now, when you're thinking about, an H&R Block, you're going to spend minimum $40,000 to get into a big brand franchise, right? On a low end, if you're just going to get into a smaller franchise, something like that's like a mom and pop, like they're just getting started, or maybe they've been franchising for a few years, it's a local brand, maybe they have about 10, 15, maybe 100 to 200 franchisees up underneath them, you're going to spend anywhere between $5,000 and $10,000 to invest in this franchise, right? Just to have this quote unquote brand, or to be under this brand, right? So this is a big investment. This is not even you getting, some of the bare minimum things that you need in order to be successful in this business, such as marketing, such as maybe hiring, or maybe even scouting for certain real estate that you need to get, or maybe you're going to get a shared co-working space. This is not taking in consideration any other expenses, really. This is just to get into the actual franchise. So this could be very cost prohibitive for a lot of people, because not only do you have to spend this initial upfront investment, but you still need to do everything else in order to start and grow this business. This is just your buy-in to get into the business, right? So this is definitely can be a very big con, very cost prohibitive for a lot of people. Now, one of the pros that I put on here is support, okay? Now, when you're investing in a tax franchise, again, with the proven process, with the brand recognition, hopefully there is some level of support involved to where you can get on the phone and call someone. Maybe there's technical support. Maybe there is support by way of you just don't know how to handle a certain client situation, and they have some sort of admin operational support on that level. This is one reason why people would want to buy into a franchise. And the con associated with that is, for this support, you typically have to pay a lot of royalties, right? And then not only royalties, but royalties in perpetuity. And this is one of my favorite words, perpetuity. When I first heard this word, I think it was on, was it Shark Tank? I think it was on Shark Tank when I first heard the word perpetuity. And I Googled it, and it means forever. It means you're gonna pay somebody a set fee forever, the life of the business. And that's a huge thing. So most of these, and if not all of these tax franchises that you're going to buy into, it's not just this initial upfront investment, which might make sense, but you also have these ongoing royalties, right? So ongoing royalties could be price per return, right? So when you buy into a tax franchise, as you are doing a tax return, they're going to charge you anywhere between, $20 and $100 per return, right? Now you build up your business to 300 clients, like they are getting a huge chunk of your business, right? This is going to make your tax preparation fees more inflated, because not only do you have to pay, let's just say, your software a fee, but you also have to pay your franchisor a fee. So when you're tabulating your client's price for their tax return, they're going to see all of these line items on their tax return, and a lot of it is going to come from the royalty, the software, everybody else, having a piece of the pie and your fee, right? So it's going to make your price per return higher, but you're not necessarily making that money. That those additional fees are going to your franchisor and going to your software. Now, keep in mind, when I'm talking about this particular scenario, this is what I call fee assist. So this is when you're taking your client's fee directly from their refund. And when that happens, this is normally when these extra fees are associated. This is when your franchisor and your software are going to be tagging on these extra fees. So for instance, here's what it'll look like. So your fee for this tax return would be, let's just say $350, right? That's just your fee to prepare the taxes for your expertise, for your time and energy to actually do that tax return. Now, if you are, and this client is getting fee assist, this scenario is with the client that's getting fee assist. So that means they want their fee taken out of their refund, right? So now you have your tax return fee. Now you're gonna have your franchisor fee. Their fee on average is probably gonna be around $60. And then you're gonna have your software fee. The software, they want a piece of this pie too, right? Because they are syncing with the third party and so forth. So you have your software fee. I think my software charges $27 for this. And then you have your bank product fee, right? Your bank product, which is this third-party bank such as Refund Advantage, Santa Barbara Bank, that's going to allow you to take their fee out of their refund because you have to use a third-party bank in order to do that. So your bank product provider is probably going to charge you around $37 to do this. Now, as you see, these fees add up. You know, your client is going to pay an extra $150 just in these extra fees, and you're only getting $350. So, you know, these are these ongoing fees that you have to take in consideration when you are, one, having software. So this is probably going to be something that you can't avoid even if you don't invest in a franchise. But this extra fee, you are making the franchisor rich. At the end of the day, they are in the business, not necessarily for this upfront investment. Yeah, this is definitely a huge revenue generator for the franchisor, but how they're really getting paid is on every last one of your clients. So every last one of your tax returns, they're getting, you know, $60, $70, $100 per return, and that's how they make their money. And you times that by 200 offices, you know, that's $1 million+ business. That's a multi-million-dollar business. So these are how the franchisors are making their money, right? Now, the second thing that you have to that you really want to look at is that you still have to invest in your marketing. Now, some of these, you know, of course, your franchise is going to be like, oh, we're going to help you with marketing. We're going to either show you marketing or you're going to be able to leverage our brand recognition. But at the end of the day, you still have to do your own marketing. The onus is going to be on you to actually draw in those clients, pull in that extra business, and you really have to know how to do that. And based upon my experience of just going through and looking at different franchise models, they don't have a robust learning center on teaching you how to effectively market. They may tell you to go hit up friends, family, just your sphere of influence, which I tell you guys that all the time. That should be your #1 marketing strategy, is to hit up people that you already know, who already know, like, and trust you, and to draw in your first 50 to 100 clients that way. But when you really want to scale this business and you want to get, you know, monthly bookkeeping clients, accounting clients, CFO clients, or even more higher end tax clients, such as tax resolution clients, you need to know how to effectively market your services. And a franchise just simply drops the ball on teaching you how to effectively do that. They think that it's just about brand recognition, and it's not the case, right? Because I know a lot of big brands that are still closing offices in my local city, right? Or that are constantly losing revenue every single year. They're losing clients because clients now, they are more educated on these big brands and mom and pop brands. So now more than ever, you know, how you position yourself, your value, that's what's really going to stand yourself apart from the competition, right? So these are just some pros and cons that you want to take in consideration, these upfront expenses and these ongoing in perpetuity, these expenses that you're going to be paying. Now, not only are the royalties per tax return, but you also have annual royalties. And I want to make sure I put that up here because all of these franchises that you're going to invest in, they do have an annual royalty that you have to pay every single year. So you're going to be paying, you know, anywhere between maybe $1,000 per year, all the way up to maybe $10,000 per year, just to continue the relationship, right? Just to continue this relationship. So you really want to look to see, you know, how this is going to impact your bottom line. If you're spending, you know, $10,000 just to become a part of a brand, and now you still have to invest in hiring, you still have to get your location, invest in maybe a desk or a computer, it's going to take you a few years just to break even, right? Just to break even. So you want to take that into consideration. Now, what I want to give you guys is an alternative, right? Because to be honest, I didn't invest in a tax franchise when I first got into the business. I thought about it, but the cost just didn't make sense for me. I couldn't justify, paying, $7,500 just to get into a franchise, and ongoing expenses and fees, and I still had to do everything myself. Right? They give you some support, but you still, at the end of the day, the onus is on you. You are responsible for growing your own business, and you still have to do your own work. So what I did, I just started my own individual tax business. And a lot of you might know what my name was, but it's Dynamite Tax. And I don't have this business any longer. So this was my business name, and it was just Dynamite Tax and Financial Service. Right? No brand, no big brand, not even a small mom and pop brand. I was just like, this is going to be my name. I'm going to go into business, and I'm going to do everything on my own. And so what I did, I started my own brand, and I slowly but surely started to compile everything that I needed to run this business effectively. So the alternative is to really just buy into maybe a system, right? So I'll put that in there, buy into a system. Now, there are quite a few systems out there that you can buy into that teaches you, how to structure your admin, your operations, your marketing, things like that. But really, and this is going to come with a little bit of bias, my system, because I've been in business for 10 years that I created for you guys, it goes over all of this. So when you buy into my system, which is called Tax and Accounting Clients on Demand, I show you how to start this business, how to do your marketing, how to build a multiple six-figure tax and bookkeeping business for one small investment, for one fee. I don't take, I don't have a software that I'm pushing. I'm not getting paid per your return. There's no royalties involved. There's no, astronomical investment involved in this. I'm literally taking 10 years of my knowledge of being in this business and, my expertise in marketing, and I'm showing you how to grow a multiple six-figure business. So this program is called Tax and Accounting Clients on Demand, okay? And here's what we go through. So the very first thing that we go through is your foundations, right? Everything starts with your foundations. So this is really getting clear on your niche, really getting clear on your pricing, right? So I give you my pricing library. I show you how to price per return, which is how I recommend you pricing. Because when you price per return, you're gonna price based upon the complexity of the tax return, right? So if the tax return is very complex, then your fee is higher. If it's a very simple return, then it's only fair that your fee is a lot lower. So I show you how I price, and I give you all of my pricing. So I give you my pricing for bookkeeping, for tax preparation, for financial coaching, for tax resolution, all of the services that I do in my business, I give you in the foundation section of this training program. The niche is really after you've exhausted your sphere of influence. You're gonna exhaust your family, your friends, people that you already know, like, and trust. You need to know how to talk to people who you don't know across the country. So the great thing about running a virtual business, not really getting tied down with a franchise, is that you can help people from all over the country. I have clients in California, I have clients in Florida, in Texas, in Arizona, and I live in Michigan. So this is the beautiful part about knowing how to strategically grow a virtual tax and bookkeeping firm, is that you will be able to work from home when you do this business right, when you set it up right. And all of that starts with really having your niche, right? Then we talk about onboarding. Okay, so once you have this virtual firm, I show you how I effectively onboard clients virtually. The systems, the processes that I use to onboard a tax client versus the systems and processes that I use to onboard a bookkeeping, accounting, or CFO client. So I give you all of that so you have all of the forms that you need to onboard a client, the step-by-step process. You have, the protection that you need, such as your engagement letters, to make sure that you're covering yourself and that you're spelling out the terms in which that you're gonna provide services. And then of course with onboarding, I show you how to collect payment. So if you're going to do fee assist, I'll show you how to set up with your third-party bank provider. But also if you are just collecting payment, if someone is paying out of their pocket, I give you some recommendations on the payment processors that I use and the preferred methods that I use in order to do this effectively. Now, once we handle your foundations, your niche, your pricing, your onboarding, then we really get into your sphere of influence, right? So, again, your first 50 to 100 clients should come from the people that you already know, like, and trust. So I show you how to get everybody on the phone, and then most importantly, how to actually talk to them. So we're gonna put get on the phone. How do we get them on the phone? And then what do we say when we get them on the phone, right? So I'm going to give you scripts and everything that you need. So once you have these people on the phone, you can walk through a proven process that actually leads to you guys both feeling good about that conversation, right? And them being glad that you called them, or that, that you followed up with them. And now they know what you do. Now they will become a client and they will refer people your way. Once we tackle your sphere of influence, then we go into the actual, the big marketing. Right? And so we do marketing on Facebook. I teach you how to do marketing on Facebook. I teach you how to do marketing on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and also use Google, right? Google is a huge source of business for a lot of my clients. So I always tell people social media is just a tool, right? It's really no different from a billboard, a TV commercial, a radio ad. It's a lot more leveraged. It's a lot more leveraged. So I show you the exact marketing processes on how do you market on Facebook that's effective, that actually works. A lot of people think it's just about posting a status. It's so much more to that. So I give you the breakdown on how to really effectively do your marketing on Facebook. LinkedIn is one of the top social media networking sites for small businesses. It's over 44+ million businesses around the world that's on LinkedIn. And it's a huge source of revenue for a lot of my clients, including myself. I've gotten several bookkeeping clients that pay me, $500 to $1,500 per month just from LinkedIn, right? I've gotten, $2,000 tax return clients from LinkedIn. So I show you how to effectively do this properly, how to set it up, and actually how to do your marketing. And of course, Instagram is becoming more up and coming. Before, I hadn't really used Instagram, but now more and more people are becoming on Instagram. My clients are getting business from Instagram. So the strategies that I teach, you can use on any social media platform because they're timeless, they're tried and true. And then the last but not least is Google. So once you know your niche, I show you how to effectively use Google to actually get clients. So again, I've gotten bookkeeping clients from this Google strategy that are still with me today, 5+ years later. So this strategy definitely works. So once we go over your marketing, this is how we get our people's attention, right? How we get them attracted to us. But it all is going to go back to the phone, right? Everything that we do happens over the phone. So social media is only great if you know how to actually talk to people, right? So I do spend a lot of time going over scripts and how to talk to people on the phone, right? I even give you my unique methodology called the CDO format that I created. So I'm going to show you, now that you attracted these people from Facebook, from LinkedIn, from Instagram, from Google, what do you say when you get on the phone with them? What questions to ask? How do you structure your conversation? And then most importantly, how do you make the offer for services and onboard the client from that telephone call, right? And this is a huge part of your business. Is going to be predicated on your ability to effectively communicate to someone in another country about their tax or accounting situation, right? And then all of this is included in Tax and Accounting Clients on Demand. So I'm giving you the foundations that you need, the marketing, the phone, the sphere of influence, but then also the support. So this is huge. Because twice per week, you actually meet with me. We actually have a private Facebook community. So if you have a tax question, let's just say you don't know how to handle this tax law question, you could post that question in the group. There are other CPAs, there are enrolled agents, there are tax attorneys from all over the country in this group that will be able to support you. And then you have my direct support every single week. So this is the only training program on the market that gives you 2 times per week coaching, right? So you got 2 times per week coaching where we actually do video coaching calls. So the calls are pretty intimate and we hop on video, such as you're looking at me right now, but I can't see you, but on our coaching calls, I'm going to be able to see you too. And I actually just go around the room and I answer your questions. I support you in your marketing. I support you in your administration or your operations to really help you continue to build out this business. Not only do you get the coaching, but of course you get that Facebook mastermind group with people from all over the country in this group. I mean, some really smart group of people. I'm really blessed and fortunate that I attract a lot of smart people that, you know, have, you know, degrees and credentials, and they really just want to know how to build out this business. So there are a lot of people with experience, 10 plus years experience in accounting or maybe in government or nonprofit. It's such a diverse group of people, and you will find the support that you need in this group, right? And there are a lot of people that, you know, they have what we call like these business besties, where you actually, you know, become friends with people in another city or another state, and you actually build up this accountability with one another. So that opportunity is there for you as well. And then last but not least, just email support, right? So if there's any particular situation where you're like, oh my God, Krista, like, listen, I don't know how to handle this, or I'm stuck on this, or I got this really difficult client. If you can't get support with me over video chat or in the mastermind group, of course, there's always email. You can email me anytime, 24/7. Me and my team will be there to support you. So this is the alternative to investing in a tax franchise, because really, once you know how to effectively do your marketing yourself, you won't really need the brand recognition of a tax franchise, because you're going to be doing this business from home. You don't need to open up a brick and mortar location, pay that excess amount of rent. I mean, guys, I used to pay, you know, $1,000 just in rent, not including, you know, lights, gas, cable, internet, you know, phone. So you're taking care of a whole new household pretty much. I felt like I was taking care of 2 households. And you simply just don't need to do that if this is your first couple of years in business. You can grow a 6-figure business doing this from home effectively, having and running a virtual office. Now, of course, the alternative would be to get some sort of co-working space, right? And these are just for if you do have a client that wants to meet you face-to-face, which is rare, because I'm going to show you how to position having a virtual and running a virtual firm. But you can always rent out a co-working space, and a lot of my clients do this. And it's between the ranges of $200 and $500 per month, which is really affordable, more affordable than having your own real estate and having that extra overhead. Because I thought so too, guys. I thought if I was on a busy street and I had a big sign outside that people were just going to be rolling in droves. And honestly, it just doesn't work like that. Even with a franchise name, it just doesn't work like that, because the competition is a lot more steeper now. And people have options, and they aren't necessarily stuck on brands anymore. Like, they know that they can get quality without going to a brand. So this is the most affordable way, is to just buy into a system one time and get everything that you need to learn that you're going to be able to take with you forever. Like, once you buy into the system one time, you know these strategies forever, right? There's no ongoing royalty on your knowledge, right? I can't charge you forever for knowing, you know, for me teaching you this. You're just going to know it. You're going to grow your business, and you're going to make 10 times, 1,000 times return on your investment. All right, guys, so that's the program. So you're probably like, okay, Krista, well, how do I figure out, how do I get more information about it? So I'm going to give you 2 options. One, I'll just put the link below to actually check out the program to see if it makes sense for you. Or 2, you could book a strategy session with me. So this is a 15-minute call where you and I would get on the phone, and it'll allow you to actually, you know, ask me more questions. But this call is really only for people that are really like, I think this is for me and I just need to get some clarity, right? This is for people who have the intention of investing in this program, and they just need a little bit more clarity around if it's really for them, and to just personally be able to talk with me over the phone. So I do have a link below where you can check out the program, as well as book a 15-minute call with me to get more to get more clarity. Ooh, when you're up here talking a lot, you get short-winded. To get more clarity with me. All right, guys, subscribe to my channel if you like content like this. I come out with videos every single week. Drop your comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.